So yes, this is happening. I don't like it, but Peely, I know this is a
Yo,
topic that you've been warning us for years.
yep. Hey, this is just in comics, right? It's not in movies, right?
Yeah, it's the
Correct.
comics. Yep.
Right. But I've been telling y'all this is what they've been working for a long time. This is the reason Zack Snyder. So Zack Snyder, they were trying to get Zack Snyder to be more like Marvel, and he didn't want to be like Marvel. He didn't want to do what Marvel's doing. So they got in Marvel directors to be like Marvel, so they could one day. That's the big bomb. They wanted to do a crossover. That was so obvious, and I've been saying that to everybody. And um,
Oh,
Will Rowlands worked on a movie one time, and it had some. I think it was Doctor Strange 2, and it had some Gotham City Batman stuff on set. So
hmm
he kind of confirmed what I said maybe a few years ago. But it's the obvious blockbuster was to make a crossover, and that's I think with this comic they're kind of teasing it just to get it in the zeitgeist, just to get the narrative in the community, and I think that's what James Gunn is here to do. He made Superman light, bright, Marvel looking, so they could maybe one day do a film crossover.
Mhm.
That. You know, Disney owns a few like IPs that you never hardly see Batman on TV on like any of these TV series because Disney owns ABC, which ABC owns Batman
They own the
TV.
rights to. Yes, I have
Right,
heard that before.
right,
Yeah.
oh, that is so
right.
messy.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Wow.
So you never really see Batman in it. But so with Disney involved in Marvel, they could actually do that crossover because Disney has a lot of back end IPs that
We could tie it back to what you were saying earlier about how they drip feed us stuff, how they give us little
right,
bits earlier,
right,
right? Because think about it,
right,
man. Like this seems like it's the new BVS. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
remember how for the longest time Warner Bros. Wanted to make a Batman versus Superman movie, so much so
Yep.
that they even put like an advertisement for it in the I Am Legend movie.
I Am Legend. Yep,
You know what I
yep,
mean? They were just drip
yep,
feeding little bits until we finally got to it. It seems like
yep.
they're repeating that process.
Yeah, that's what Joss Whedon came over for. That's what James Gunn is here for. And that's the reason Zack Snyder wasn't here because he wasn't gonna tone it up. You know, you can't put Crypto the Superdog in a Zack Snyder movie. It just won't look right.
No,
You
no, no.
can't
Here's
put
the thing.
Crypto.
Here's the thing. You can. He's not going to be a super dog. You could put a. You can have. You can have. You could do it like the way. I don't want. I don't want to. I can't say it because Phil hasn't seen the stupid show. But if it's done the way a certain show did it, where it's just Clark Kent with a dog and he calls him Crypto,
Yeah.
we could
No,
accept
I mean
that.
right. No, I mean that same dog that pulled Superman by his cape
Yes,
in James
yes.
Gunn.
You'll
I
never
mean
get
Yeah,
that
that
you
from
talking
dog.
Zack
about you
Right.
talking
Snyder.
about
You'll never
You'll
get
ne-
that from Zack Snyder.
right.
Yeah.
You
right.
talking about
Right.
this one right here. You talking about this one right here. You ready? Home. Take me home.
right. 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 You'll never get that dog in a Zack Snyder or Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
That he can
Take
never show
me
up.
home,
But
boy. Woof, woof.
but that little dog will be in a Marvel movie. You can definitely see him in a
All
Marvel
day.
movie all
All
day,
day,
right?
bro.
So,
Mhm.
so now, if they have a crossover and you see that same little crypto dog, he'll fit right in one of the Marvel crossovers that they do.
Just fit right
So
in.
Well, I
it's
could
been
see the
obvious,
jokes between the. I could see the jokes that Rocket Raccoon will be making. You know what I mean? Like I can already see
right?
it. You know?
Right, exactly. So when the suits are like, "Hey man, you got to find a way," telling Zach, you got to find a way. We want to put like Rocket Raccoon and BVS. It just won't work.
Doesn't
And
make
Zack
Right.
sense.
Snyder,
What? What?
right?
Lex gonna use him as a pet? I mean, what we doing here?
Right. They're like, "Hey Zach, we want Groot and Man of Steel," and they're like,
Like,
no."
nah, bro.
Right. So when you tell James Gunn, "Hey, might want to put like Rocket Raccoon and a Superman movie, and you can get Crypto the dog to help him out one day. It fits James Gunn,
to a T.
100% to a T, right? So that's what it was obvious. That's what they were doing. Plus, at the time, back in the day when I was saying that, it was DC fans versus Marvel fans. The biggest bomb would be a DC Marvel crossover on film. And they were doing it at the time, remember, with like, what's the movie with Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger and all of those stars in one movie?
Oh, the Expendables.
The Expendables, right. Yeah. They were doing stuff like that. Or you see...
but that made sense, Peely. Hold on, let me interrupt you right quick. That made sense. Expendables made sense simply because the tone of Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies, Stallone's movies, all of their movies were action-packed movies. They all had the same fucking tone. You're talking about Marvel and DC. You're trying to clash the two of them together. You know what's going to happen. They're going to try to make Marvel overshadow DC during that whole fucking
facts, because it's Disney. Right, 100%, because it's Disney.
Man, hell
and
no.
And that's what, like, Zack Snyder movies, like, look at Zod and the Superman fight. That was so through the buildings and all that.
That was so epic.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine, like, Zod, he would beat the whole Avengers by himself, and Zack Snyder wasn't going to tone down to fit, like, the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? So they had to get somebody who would. But that's where that's where all the corporations are going to. You can see, like, Mortal Kombat, they have all these different characters now in Mortal Kombat. They got, like, Freddy Krueger or, Jason or
my son, he loves playing as Ghostface. It's his favorite character, Ghostface.
You said
Peacemaker, but now because Peacemaker came out first. Now Ghostface is out, so now Ghostface is his favorite. My son's 4 years old, bro.
Right, but like look at all these characters coming together. Look at all these. Or in GTA 4, you could get like Superman, or GTA 5, you can get all these other different characters inside of the game. But that's the only obvious thing to do for movies, was to put them two together. But
I don't want to see a Marvel dark side, bro. I don't want to see
I don't either. I don't either. I don't want to see none of it. But look at it. Like, all right, the suits, they look at it.
There are things that work in live action, and there are things that only work animated. The trunk, for instance, it doesn't work in live action.
Right.
We're going to see how it performs, and why aren't they showing it on the trailers?
Because they're hiding it. They're hiding it. Yeah.
They're hiding it.
They're trying to hide it. Home. Take me home.
Right. Look how it looks. And they were like, and he pulling them, and it's like, oh my God, bro.
Just like this motherfucker loves animals, don't he?
Imagine Zod versus Hulk. Not credible. Imagine Darkseid. The Zod remains.
Doomsday, the Zod remains versus Hulk.
Oh, right.
Imagine Doomsday versus Hulk.
Oh, Doomsday would.
Right. And remember with Zack Snyder, they toned down. They had to tone down Doomsday because the studio told Zack it looked too scary.
It wasn't even the design that he wanted.
The original concept for his Doomsday.
It looked just like from the comic, bro. It looked just like from the comic.
Looked crazy. Right. Even the original Steppenwolf looked crazy. But they had
dude. He had to tone that down.
Dude, I'm happy with the Steppenwolf we got in Zenith Jail, though.
Oh, it's dope.
I was too. Yeah. So imagine, like Disney don't even have you can't have blood or anything wild like that. But so Zack Snyder just wouldn't fit in that, So they had to change it. But when the suits think of a crossover, they think of something like $2 billion, or this gonna make so much money. But look at what we did with the Snyder Cut and all the noise we made online. Zack Snyder's Snyderverse is still competition to a DC Marvel crossover. More people would want to see the Snyderverse than they want to see a crossover. So we put a whole wrench in this whole big system that they've been trying to do,
Pull that back up. Pull it right there. So very important. This may seem like an innocuous statement that he just made, but it's not. Marvel did a decent job with Thanos, but most of their other villains, yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Joe, guess what the concept of Thanos was built on?
Dark side,
bro.
Dark side. Right.
Dark side. And I remember reading something a long time ago, and I can't remember who wrote it, but it was a piece about the writers for the artists for Thanos and all of that. And there was a statement in there. One of them said, "We need our own dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Make him."
He was a direct. He was a direct.
Fast forward, and somebody else made a comment in here, and I don't know who it was. Right here, boom. Don't forget, Jeff Johns, he leaked JL Part 2 and 3 to Marvel. How the hell do you think you got Endgame and Infinity War? Right there.
Facts.
Right there. They leaked my man's stories, his storyboards all the way over there. And that's that whole, even at 5 years later that you see in Endgame.
Right.
That was Zack Snyder shit, bro. He even had that in there.
Right. But look, even more than that, look at like we were talking about green screen. Look at the film style. It just changed once the script leaked. You know, it went from remember they're fighting in the airport. They just look like regular humans running around in the airport, and the camera was like at a distance where they look small and kind of weak. But then look at Thanos shows up. Thanos shows up exactly how Darkseid showed up, and like a green screen behind him. The final war looked like full green screen, just like Darkseid did when they were fighting with the world's heroes. You know, all of it was leaked, and when they leaked it, they totally took Zack Snyder's whole, not only his story, but they took his style of shooting and they made movies with it. You know, but that was only because Zack Snyder, if he was allowed to continue, not only he didn't have to be like Marvel, but he would have dominated Marvel. There would have been no like big hype for Endgame. Marvel would have been like, you know, second tier to Zack Snyder. You know,
same with that. BVS. I don't mean to cut you off, Peter. Yeah, first name, last name.
True.
BVS sparked Civil War 2, and that's exactly what happened. If you think about it, what was his name in Civil War? Helmut Zemo. The one that made Tony Stark and Captain America fight by leaking the video with his mom fighting with dying and shit. Helmut Zemo, that's Lex Luthor, bro. That's Lex. Think about it. Helmut Zemo was Lex Luthor. Iron Man was obviously Bruce Wayne.
Batman,
Captain America was Superman. Oh yeah, Batman, and then Captain America was Superman. They took that story from his.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, too, dude, you got to also remember that Civil War wasn't even supposed to be Civil War. That was supposed to be something complete. It was supposed to be a completely different movie, and they didn't turn it. They turned it into Civil War after BVS, after they had announced BVS.
Let me help you out with that, Rox. Captain America 4, the one that's just out right now. What is the name of that villain that Giancarlo Esposito is playing? It was about that group, the Serpent Society. That is what Civil War was supposed to be about.
Dude,
I heard
they wasted Giancarlo Esposito in this movie. They wasted him.
Yeah.
It's just so bad.
And people want us to back down from this shit. I'm like, you are literally stealing a man's work, his life's work, and then turning it into a comedy. I'm like, no.
Right. And it's Jeff Johns, and like Homeboy said earlier, Jeff Johns leaked it, and we're kind of living in what he did. You know, we're kind of living in that.
Yeah, let me put this again so people that are jumping in now can see that we're not bullshitting.
No, I remember there was even one scene.
We have receipts here.
But there was even one scene from, and I didn't watch the show, but I remember seeing the clip online. It was with Vision. What was the show? WandaVision?
WandaVision.
Yeah.
There's there's literally an entire scene ripped straight from Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, right?
Yeah, like from in that show. I remember seeing the comparison, and it was like side by side with Man of Steel, and it was like shot for shot. It was unbelievable.
Right.
So that goes to show how these companies take Zach's shit and run with it. You know,
exactly.
Right.
So now, for everybody in the chat who keeps saying that it's not real or those are they're all lies. So first of all, you live in fantasy land and you need to grow up because corporate espionage does exist. Companies steal from each other all the time. So grow up and be an adult. Number two, if you look on the screen here, look. That is a handwritten, drawn out storyboard from Zack Snyder on the left, and on the right, you got exactly what was going on in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah,
so,
it's no denying it. It's no denying it these days. There's no denying that anymore. Anybody who denies it is just they're living in denial. So if you watch Sonic 3 or whatever the new Sonic is. There's so much Zack Snyder Man of Steel.
Oh, dude, I noticed that. I saw it on theaters. I saw Sonic the Hedgehog on theaters, and I saw a lot of like inspirations.
Hell yeah. Just like he was talking about
for Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And shout out to the creators of Sonic who actually listened to the fans when the fans criticized. Remember back when Sonic 1 came out with that horrible design?
Funny,
yeah. So that just goes to show how when you listen to the fandom, you get rewarded. We will reward you. We'll give you our money, but you have to listen.
Facts. Just like he said with WandaVision, and there's a WandaVision complete rip of Man of Steel. You can look it up right now, and Sonic the Hedgehog stole from Zack Snyder, and they'll show a complete rip of all the shit in Sonic 3 that was stole from like Man of Steel and BVS. There was a lot of it. From the spaceship, there was a one scene where he's flying, punching the bad guy like Superman was flying and punching Zod. There's so much shit. Zack Snyder is the blueprint to what's good, y'all? Sorry I'm late. Oh, what's going on, Cali guy?